So I thought I'd record this little video about my gallbladder removal. I'm sorry I look atrocious, but I haven't shaved and whatnot in a couple of days now since I had my surgery yesterday morning. About a couple weeks ago I had a really bad pain in my side, like a stitch times 100, upper right abdomen area. It woke me up in the middle of the night, and I just thought I slept wrong and got a catch or something. So I woke up like 4:30 in the morning. Around 5 it wasn't getting any better, so I just went, I got up and I got an ice pack out of my fridge and put it on my side, just kind of sat at my desk for a little while. Probably about 7 o'clock, it kind of started to go away a little bit, and then it came back and it hit me so hard that I couldn't breathe. And luckily Mary was there, my fiance, and I just started panicking because it hurt so bad. I couldn't see, couldn't breathe, and I just started saying, call 911, call 911. That lasted for like 5 minutes like that, and when it went back down, if you think of a scale of 1 to 10 in pain, it was well up there, 8, 9. I don't, 10 to me is somebody screaming and passing out on the floor and you can't talk. So it was a good 8 or 9. I almost threw up because it hurt so bad. It went down, and we went to the ER, and I spent the entire day in the ER getting everything from ultrasounds to MRIs. And basically they surmised that I had a couple gallbladder stones. And the one that they think I passed one, which is what hurt really bad. And there was still one left in my gallbladder, about 2 centimeters. And I don't know anything about gallbladder stones. I know a little bit more now than I did, but apparently that's sizable enough to cause some issues. They got the pain managed, to where I was okay. I thought they would because the surgeon basically said, the doctor said, they talked to a surgeon. I thought they said it has to come out, and I thought they meant the stone, but they mean the whole gallbladder needed to come out. I thought they were going to do it that day, but we couldn't get in with the surgeon and for a little while, and then it took about 2 weeks. I had my surgery yesterday morning, and the staff at Martha Jefferson Hospital they're amazing, and I really liked my surgeon. The anesthesiologist was really cool. All the nurse staff, everybody. I can't say enough about them. They were amazing. It makes me wish I had gone into that field. And for those of you who know me, I'm pretty familiar with the hospital and injuries and all that fun stuff. But for those of you who aren't aware, it doesn't typically, gallstones typically don't affect males, white Caucasian males, I guess. That might have been redundant, but it's a pretty low percentage. But if you've met me, it hit me. So they went in and they removed my gallbladder yesterday, probably about 10:30 in the morning. It's the first time I'd ever been put completely under. I have a heart stent, and they've gone in and looked at that like 3 times to make sure restenosis hadn't set in and things like that. And the pain that I was experiencing with my heart was just like angina. And what they did is they actually just went in and they removed the entire gallbladder. And I came to and was in a good amount of pain, and they gave me as much pain meds as they could, because it started to affect my blood oxygen levels. I think I got all this later because I don't remember any of that. I think the surgery took just about an hour. My surgeon, Dr. Turner Lyle, he told Mary, my fiance, that when they got to the gallbladder and took it out, it was clear that it was upset, and it was borderline big problems. But he said the surgery went great. I just was in a lot of pain. They just couldn't seem to get the pain to go away, and the nausea was terrible from the anesthesia, I guess. And I have this little thing on the back of my, I don't know if you can see that or not, ear, to help with nausea, and they gave me a shot to help with that. and some pills that you dissolve on your tongue. And I tried all those. When I started to feel a little bit better, we'd been in the hospital about 6-7 hours at that point. I was able to come home. The car ride home was terrible, just for the nausea and the pain. Got home, they prescribed Percocet, which I hate, but I didn't care. I took 2 of those and just kind of passed out. And the reason I'm standing here shirtless is so you guys can kind of see what the deal is. I'm all bloated through here because they fill you up with, I think it's nitrogen. And eventually what that does is it travels up and it disperses out of your body. But they say it can cause some pain in your shoulders, particularly your right shoulder, and some pressure on your chest, which I'm starting to experience a little bit. But that's where they took out the gallbladder. I think that's where they inflated my abdomen, and there's something going on with my belly button area as well, and maybe a little thing there. So they made these little tiny incisions and did everything there. I'm still really bloated and orange, you can see. I think that's the disinfectant. When I was told to be ready for the surgery, that morning they gave me a special scrub to scrub my chest and stomach area with antibacterial, which stunk. And I also, since I've been on the operating table a few times, I went ahead and I shaved everything because I know they have to do it if you don't, and I just wanted to save them a little bit of time. So having done that, having shaved everything, that soap burned a little bit. So if you have to do this, just keep that in mind, especially you fellas. But they yesterday and all night last night was just terrible. I was up most of the night, which in turn kept Mary up. I couldn't get up and out of bed on my own. I was really dizzy, really nauseous, really kind of shaky because I hadn't eaten anything. The 2 weeks leading up to the surgery, I was on a 0-fat diet. None. If even like an almond, if it has fat in it, I wasn't eating it. I was drinking fat-free soup. I was making potatoes with no butter, no oil, steaming veggies that didn't have fat in them. And that kind of took a toll on me. I dropped to 11 pounds since this whole thing started about 2.5 weeks ago. It was. But yeah, if you are going to go through this, the things I can tell you are, don't hesitate to ask for anti-nausea medication. Definitely let them know. Dry heaving last night with all this going on, this hurts, this kills, was terrible. Definitely tell them if you're not feeling so good with the anesthesiologist. They'll know, and they'll give you some stuff. We called them today because last night was just so rough that they called in some more anti-nausea stuff. One other thing too, they had to intubate, not incubate, but intubate, where they ran like a breathing tube down my throat. I'm not going to open my mouth and show you that. I did take a picture of it though, but the whole right side of my throat in here is just like black and blue and purple. Really hurts. It's almost like when you got your tonsils removed. If you've ever had that happen, your tonsils removed, it feels kind of like that. That's why my voice is real raspy right now. But yeah, what else? I've just started today trying to eat. This is the first time I've really been walking around in the last 24 hours. So I'm starting to eat had a little bit of soup. They tell you to eat really small meals and as low fat as you can go, and just start kind of gradually bringing that back into your diet, which I am. And I had to sleep all night last night on my back. I've been doing that for like 2 weeks, and on my right side. Dr. Lyle said, if you're going to sleep at night and roll over, it's best to sleep on your right, just because of the way the gallbladder is situated and the way the stones move through the ducts and all that stuff, that if you can sleep on your right, it's better. So that last 2 weeks sleeping was horrible for me as well. I just, you can only get so comfortable when you're not allowed to sleep in half the positions that you're used to. When I looked up all the surgeries and read about them and read about gallbladder removal and all that, I was not anticipating this level of discomfort. The only reason I'm able to even probably stand here and talk to you now is because I have painkillers on board, which is probably why I'm rambling, and I might be slurring a little bit. But yeah, it was not running on the beach with puppies after the surgery. It was horrible, especially right there. I mean, that's your solar plex, really. I mean, it's right on top of it, so it feels like somebody just stuck a knife in there and just moving it around. And then, you know, I don't want to feel too much over here. It just feels like I pulled some muscles. And I look crazy bloated. But yeah, it was horrible. I'm glad day 2 is a little bit better. My advice is, if you have to have this done, if you're diagnosed and you have to wait a week or 2 for your surgery, try to go on a low-fat diet, if not 0 fat. I mean, worst case scenario, you lose some weight. You're going to put it all back on, I'd imagine, when you start eating again and reincorporating all that fat. But another curious thing that I've noticed is my mouth is really dry. You might see me keep doing this. It seems like my salivary glands, they just aren't really working. So anytime I want to swallow something, I have to take a drink of water or ginger beer. Ginger beer has helped a lot with the nausea. And I mean, ginger ale with real ginger in it. And this is not an alcoholic beverage, but that seems to have helped a lot. But yeah, that's my experience with it. I'm trying to walk around a little bit more and just kind of reintegrate myself into normal activities. Apparently, I'm not supposed to lift weights over 20 pounds for the next 4 to 6 weeks. I don't even know what that's going to mean at the dojo. I'm just convinced I'm never going to get my next my high blue belt or my purple or anything like that. I got my blue belt last like a year ago almost, and suffered some injuries after that, and this and bleh. So anyway, not to go off topic, but yeah, the gallbladder removal, even though it was my surgeon was awesome, anesthesiologist was awesome, the hospital, if you've never been in a Martha Jefferson hospital, it's in Charlottesville, Pantops. It's a beautiful hospital, very well laid out. The waiting rooms are insanely nice. Yeah, great people, but maybe I'm just a wuss, but I mean, I've broken more bones than I can count. I've damaged teeth, down to the root. I've had massive ear infections. I've had a lot happen to me, and we have 3 heart surgeries and angina and TMJ. I mean, you name it, I've probably had it happen. And this was by far the worst experience that I've ever had. From the initial attack to the first 24, 36 hours after the surgery, just miserable, moaning all night long in bed just because I didn't know what else to do, and trying to sleep with ice packs and things. Just that's helped a lot too. So another piece of advice of if this goes down for you is ice packs on where they made these incisions and everything, and it really feels like like a stitch in your side, like under your ribs, times 10, with somebody standing on it in high heels. So yeah, don't be afraid of the pain meds. I can't stand them, but I'm taking them anyway. And ice, ice those areas. I was just going to sleep with ice packs on me last night. But that's my story, and maybe it'll help you out, maybe not. I don't know, but I have no more gallbladder, so apparently your liver makes up for all that anyway. So that's my little 15-minute story about what went down and what you can expect if you have to go through it, and maybe some of my advice will help. Also, I shaved my arms too at the crook there, because you fellas, if you have hairy arms, when they put those IVs in there and they rip that tape off, that sucks. But anyway, that's my story. Hope it helps. Thanks.